matched up to $50,000. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
Triggered by a Chili's commercial. Watch.
I think I have to get out of America. I just saw a commercial that was my breaking point. It's a Chili's commercial. It's not even a political ad. It's just a Chili's commercial, and I'm losing my mind. I think I have to leave. I don't think I can be a part of this world and this culture. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is because of a Chili's ad.
You know what I'm left wondering? What was in the Chili's ad that's so bad? I mean, I love Chili's. I haven't been there in probably 2 decades, but there's nothing wrong with Chili's. You know what I think we should do? Start running Chili's ads in every blue city in America. Maybe we can get more of them to lead. All right. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stinchfield's Army rolls. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds funny in the evening. You're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
It is live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, 8 o'clock.
Forgot where you live?
On the East Coast. No, we're on the East Coast for sure. 8 o'clock, Real America's Voice. Glad you're in, everybody. Lots to do. Vinnie Mac. Sitting right there in the West Palm Beach studio. I don't know what's the weather there, Vin. Is it warmer than, let's say, what it is here, which is about 6?
I think we got you by about 55 to 60 degrees. It's been cold here, though. I mean, literally got to 30 at night and then up to like the mid 50s during the day. Mm-hmm. But today we broke through. We hit through like low 70s, high 60s. So we're freezing. The iguanas are dropping. So that's what the iguanas are all freezing. They drop. I mean, it's hilarious. If it's not sad, those poor things.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, very good. So Vinnie Mac's here. He's got...
Thank you.
I don't know what he's got. Doesn't matter. As long as it's not playing the piano, it's fine. News, anything he's got, it's fine.
I happen to have a piano right here, now that you mentioned that.
Vin posted something on Facebook where he kind of dedicated the 2 songs to me, which I just saw the other day. I don't know why it took so long for me to see it. I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook, but... I put a nice comment there for you, Vin, so you should check it out.
I'm sure it was super positive and very constructive and something that I'll find very inspiring. Thank you, David.
Yes, you will. Slick is not here. He's at the Big Prince dance-off tonight. He's contestant number 7, and he'll be dancing...
I wonder if he'll be doing another version of what we saw yesterday.
I wonder if he got any calls after last night's show from Dancing with the Stars or anything like that, because
it's possible.
I mean, have you seen this, Vin?
I have not seen it.
No, of course you didn't watch the show. Why would you?
Yeah.
Here's the Slickster from last Friday night at the Prince cover band show. Roll that, Aaron.
Oh my God. Was he a squeegee guy in the city watching windshields?
Look out. Oh, turn. Look at that.
You know what? Now that you say that, Vin,
Aaron, that's pretty good.
Now that you say that, Vin, he does have, I think, a second career as a traffic cop.
Yeah, could be.
You know how they have those traffic cops that all of a sudden they start breaking out dancing, everybody loves them, doesn't mind sitting in traffic just till he points to them and says, "Okay, you guys can go." That would be awesome.
So Delgado's here. He's going to do some news and headlines as well. Delgado, how was your day?
My day was good. Unfortunately, I don't live in Florida, so I didn't experience the iguana drop that Vin has. Though when I did live in Florida, I did remember that happening a few times, and it was kind of wild because, Vin, they don't die, they just freeze. And then once they warm up, they start running around again. It's the craziest thing. So you don't have to worry about it.
It is kind of wild.
So I hope you're not out collecting them thinking, oh, look, I'm going to add this to my collection of things that I find. And all of a sudden they come back to life when they come into your apartment there.
That'd be pretty funny, actually. You think you're collecting these things, and all of a sudden they come to life as soon as it gets warm.
Delgado, do you do any dancing other than pole dancing?
Let me think about that. No, I think I restrict my dancing moves to a pole.
Okay. All right, so there'll be no dance-off between you and Slick? No.
Definitely not. I'd win anyway, but, whatever.
All right, lots to do. News coming up with both the boys. Sports with Slick when he gets here. He's at an actually meeting, to be all joking aside. He's at a meeting. He'll be here a little late, but he'll be here. We'll do some sports with Slick when he gets here. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Right now, though, let's start tonight with tonight's first word. And I think I said this yesterday, but it's a new month, but it's the same old betrayal. Same script, different date. The House just narrowly voted to approve that Senate passed package, 5 government funding bills, plus DHS funding through February 13th. Oh, yes, February 13th. You're right. That's like next week. President Trump signed it. The 4-day partial shutdown ends, and the media will call it bipartisan compromise. Translation? Republicans caved once again. If not for 21 Democrats voting yes, this thing would have gone down in flames. 21 Democrats had to rescue the Republicans from themselves. And on the GOP side, well, surprisingly, 21 Republicans voted no. Let me read you the honor roll. Biggs from Arizona, Boebert from Colorado, Breachin from Oklahoma, Burchett from Tennessee, Burleson from Missouri, Kamek from Florida, Crane from Arizona, Donalds from Florida, Fine from Florida, Gill from Texas, Massey from Kentucky, Mills from Florida, Ogles from Tennessee, Perry from Pennsylvania, Roy from Texas, Schweiker from Arizona, Self from Texas, Sparts from Indiana, Stubbe from Florida, and Timmons from South Carolina. Those are the 21 who stand in front of the spending train and yelled, "Stop!" even as the White House was twisting arms demanding that 24 Republicans who voted against a similar package back on January 22nd flip and vote yes this time. No DHS or ICE funding improvements, no SAVE Act, but still 3,000 earmarks worth $3 billion, still another $2 trillion added to the deficit, pushing us towards $40 trillion in debt. $40 trillion. Just let that number sink in. And here's the amazing part. Some of these no voters have an absolute obsessive loyalty to President Trump, yet they defied him here. Why? Because they know what their base actually wants. And some of them are running for higher office. They understand that the voters back home are sick of the endless surrender. The White House took the shutdown off the table early. Poof, gone. All your leverage, gone. When your opponent knows you fear the shutdown more than they do, you've already lost. You don't even get to the negotiating table. You just get rolled. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have two equal political parties in the country anymore. We have one party that wages all-out scorched earth warfare on behalf of the radical left. Every dollar, every regulation, every open border scheme, every act of lawlessness dressed up as compassion. And then we have a second party that talks like it's on our side, but exists primarily to manage our decline carefully, methodically, and above all, safely. Look at the blue states, total control, legislatures, governors, courts, prosecutors, city halls, you name it. And what do they do with that power? They nullify federal law. They threaten law enforcement officers. They declare entire jurisdictions off limits to immigration enforcement. And they brag about it like conquering heroes. Sanctuary states, sanctuary cities, open defiance of the Constitution. Minneapolis, Chicago, Philadelphia. This is not civil disobedience. It's a coordinated rebellion. This is their Fort Sumter, and they know exactly what they're doing. Now ask yourself, what happens in the reddest of red states where Republicans supposedly have full control? Well, mostly silence, paralysis, excuses, with one notable exception where Vin is located. No governors, no legislatures willing to say enough. If you obstruct federal law in your blue states, we're going to enforce it more aggressively in ours. Whole of government, state-level removals. Where is that? Full compliance with the law. Where is that? No interposition, no defiance, no constitutional backbone. For them, chaos. For us, submission. A one-way national divorce where only one side is allowed to leave, and we never consented in the first place. And why is this happening? Because the Republican Party, as presently constituted, is not merely incompetent, it's controlled opposition. They exist to absorb conservative energy, recycle great slogans, and then surrender at the moment of truth. Just enough resistance to prevent a real alternative from forming. Just enough betrayal to ensure nothing fundamentally changes. Every good issue they touch, border security, fiscal restraint, welfare reform, they poison. They promise sweeping action, deliver symbolic gestures. They hype voters into believing victory is imminent, then govern as if losing gracefully were a virtue. And then we're told we lose elections because our ideas are unpopular. Ideas that, well, they never actually fight for. Donald Trump electrified the conservative base like no one else in modern history. Tremendous instincts, unmatched communication, a political force of nature. And yet even now we see the same disease at work, just on a larger scale. Rhetoric without discipline, endorsements without strategy, and again, trillion-dollar budgets. And suppose we manage to elect officials who actually want to fight, what happens? Well, the courts shut them down instantly. Unelected judges, the so-called least dangerous branch, now rules like philosopher kings. One judge, one pen, lifetime tenure, and zero accountability. And suddenly the laws, whatever advances their ideology that morning, they invent rights out of thin air. They shred over the century of precedent. They release detainees without purpose, without feeling, without trauma, while ignoring the Constitution they swore to uphold. Elections themselves are being hollowed out in this country. Deep red districts flipping by double digits. 8 Republican-leaning legislative seats lost in special elections. Independents walking away. We spend political capital and we get nothing in return. No jurisdiction, stripping, no defunding, no sanctuary regimes, no serious immigration moratorium, nothing. This is the 250th anniversary of our republic. The architecture that the founders gave us, representation, federalism, limited and enumerated powers, is being systematically dismantled. The enemy is no longer foreign or distant. It is entrenched in every major institution, including the party that still claims to represent us. The hour is late, my friends. We are out of time for theatrics and half measures. We don't need speeches. We need fighters, men and women willing to use every constitutional tool available and refuse to yield another inch. Because if we fail, the America we inherited, the America of laws, liberty, self-government, will not be the America we leave behind. And that would be the ultimate betrayal. And that's tonight's first word.
Yeah,
Vin,
spot on.
I'll give you first crack.
Yeah, thank you. First, well done as always. To me, I'm going to back the bus up a little. The problem to me is the fact that we have no term limits, we have no control, and no checks and balances on our senators and congresspeople. They literally can run willy-nilly, and they have in a coordinated manner between even Republicans and Democrats. So when they have literally nothing to lose but continue to do the things that just fit their narrative or line their pockets, they're going to do that. Hence, all this money coming in again that can get divvied up in the ways that they divvy them up and all their corrupt stuff. We need to have a plan here to undermine this entire process. And part of that is limiting their control. And part of limiting their control is giving them shorter terms to serve in Congress, number one. Number two, a mandatory audit at the end of every year of their financial dealings. Mandatory. We do those two things, we might see some change.
All right, we will discuss the first word in this bill and where we are with this party. More when we get back. See what Delgado thinks, live from Studio 6B, right after this.
Hey, you guys catch Alex Stein last night at 11 o'clock on Real America's Voice? I don't know if you saw his show, but
I did.
It's,
Well, wait, so Vin,
it's a blast.
You didn't watch our show last night, but you watched his.
Mm-hmm. Well, I saw it maybe not at the same time it was supposed to be on. How's that sound?
He's at like a Johnny Carson desk there, looked like almost.
Yeah, he does it off the desk, and he's wild, man. He is just wild. He did a little bit on the morning show promoting it, and it was hysterical, man. He had them all on the edge of their seat. But he's funny, and he's got an interesting perspective, and he's definitely over the top sometimes too. So it's a pretty interesting show. 11 o'clock here, Real America's Voice.
Yeah.
Rumble, rumble, rumble. Hassenpfeffer, Glasgow lady. Ordinary passenger, one Patriot Deb.
Hey, Damon, first word, totally brilliant. Well, one Patriot Deb. Thanks, one Patriot Deb. I see a lot of people being depressed about it, but you know what? I've been giving that same speech for 10. Vin knows. I've been giving some version of that for 11 years. I'm sorry, it has to be said. It has to be said. The party is going backwards. It never changes.
There are no checks and balances, though. Like, there's no reason for them to change, really. Like, they have these elections and all this stuff happens, and but there's no real checks and balances. You know what? We have to put some meat in there to really do that. And I'm not talking checks and balances between the branches. I'm talking checks and balances between individuals.
Yeah, but what does that even mean?
That means every year they have an audit of their own finances so we can make sure they're not doing anything bad, which is what they're all doing. And then, two, if we really do have term limits in an effective way, they can't just be in office for a long time or create these legacies, which is part of the problem. These legacies have so much power within the deep state. But if you're having people churn in and out a little bit, maybe every 8 years or something, on a regular basis, that deep state's not going to blossom like it is now. Right now, there's a deep power structure there.
Debbie Allen says, Damon, you always yell about Republican spending. Yeah. You noticed.
It's everybody's spending.
I'll stop the day I see it go down.
Yeah.
Which means I'll never stop. All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, February 3rd. Delgado series going to have main headlines. Vinnie Mac's in West Palm Beach. He's got a runny nose, and he's going to have headlines too. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. How do you have a runny nose? It's 65 degrees, 70 degrees down there, Vin. I mean, what do you
try to think? Well, it's not a runny nose. I was eating a sandwich, and I think I had something caught. I was trying to retrieve it.
Eating a little sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah. With pineapple.
How you doing?
What have you?
No.
Yeah, some foo-foo sandwich, probably God knows what.
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah, lots of feta cheese.
Exactly, a lot of feta cheese. So let's see, a couple clips here on the government shutdown as Trump signs the bill. Let's go. Here's Trump on the Consolidated Appropriations Act, Cut 14. Roll that, Aaron.
This bill is a great victory for the American people. Instead of a bloated and wasteful omnibus monstrosity full of special interest handouts, we've succeeded in passing a fiscally responsible package that actually cuts wasteful federal spending while supporting critical programs for the safety, security, and prosperity of the American people. And this group of people behind me and others, got a lot of votes, they really have done a fantastic job because closing the country, we had a 5.6, and it could have been 7. We lost 1.5 points because of a 42-day shutdown, and that's the least of it. But we would have been at 7. Can you believe it? 7 GDP. Nobody ever heard of a 7 GDP. So I'm glad we got this done because this would be another 1.5 points or something, or maybe worse. The bill officially ends all taxpayer subsidies for radical far-left woke programming on NPR and PBS, so just a waste of money. It slashes nearly $10 billion in wasteful foreign aid spending, giving money to countries that don't need it. They have plenty of money. And we ended that. That was so important, $10 billion. Think of it. It continues the closure of USAID and creates a brand new America First Opportunity Fund for responsibly providing foreign assistance to nations where it actually serves American interests. So we have nations that do help us, and it serves our interests, so we have something to help them out with. This bill also cuts funding to abusive and weaponized IRS programs. I was a victim of that too. You probably read that. Did you read that recently, right? Sure. I was, I guess, the ultimate victim. That were
All right, so Aaron,
used to harass Americans.
Just pause it for a second. So, does anybody else find it interesting that it was the number 21 of Republicans who voted no? And I read you the list in the first word. And it was exactly 21 Democrats who voted yes to save this. Yeah. So, again, I just don't understand how we can frame our messaging can be that this is some success when it adds $2 trillion to the debt. I can go through the list of things that are in there, as well as the things the president is saying that he thinks are good, and that's all well, fine, and good. But when you need 21 Democrats who go, okay, yeah, I can get behind this, and you've got 21, and Kat Kamik from Florida, and some of those, those are some of Trump's biggest supporters. How is this a win, Vin?
Oh, boy. First off, that's really tough to answer on the surface. The things I look at that I could come away with saying, well, we needed to get this done were Trump's biggest issue, and I think I've said this before on the show when we talked about these shutdowns and so on. His biggest issue, I believe, is the fact that a shutdown was going to interfere with the incredible growth that he's put in place for the country for 2026 economically, which is going to win him the midterms. So I think he would have done just about anything to avoid that problem, because as he even noted in what he was saying there, the GDP numbers would have been higher without the shutdown. And so he's seeing that and does not want an interruption. Outside of that, there's no answer. Something happens behind the scenes. Deals are made. Obviously, deals were made with these Democrats. Clearly, that we knew there were 21 that weren't going to vote. We went and got 21 that we could make vote, and whatever deals they made with them. The bill likely stinks. But I think if Trump's looking at it the way I think he is, it's that bigger picture. He's saying, look, we got to avoid this shutdown. We got to get some minor wins here. I know I'm going to eat crow, but I don't want the economy to slow down because that's how we're going to win the midterms. That's my view of what we possibly have won here.
Delgado?
Yeah, and that's the big problem is that, you point out the 21 that voted against and the 21 that voted for, and there were side deals. Tim Burchett talked about it yesterday. I played the clip where he said the Republicans and the Democrats, they go along to get along. You can't get your stuff if I don't get my stuff, so they make the deal. We saw it play out, 21 exact. And there you have it. That's what you were talking about, the controlled opposition. Unfortunately for Trump, he gets sucked into this. This is the way Washington works. So yes, Vin, I agree. He looks at it and goes, damn it, I gotta eat some crap on this, but I gotta get it done. And unfortunately, that's part of the dysfunction of Washington, D.C., right? That's not what we voted for. We talk about all these wins that he's had, but how many of them are executive orders or executive decisions that aren't codified into law? That's the problem, because once he's out of office, if J.D. Vance or whoever on the Republican side doesn't win and keep those in place, we're going to see them all undone all over again. And if you want to talk about term limits, that's a great idea. I'm all for term limits. Unfortunately, what are we seeing? What did we see happen in the 4 years of Biden? What did we see? We saw them speed everything up. So that's all you'd get with term limits is these people going, I only got 6 or 12 years? I better crank up how much corruption I can stuff my pockets with. I mean, if anything, term limits, I think, are going to speed up the demise because these people realize, hey, I don't have that much time to get rich here as I thought I did. And plus, who's going to vote for the IRS to come check them every year? Congress. You think they're going to make that vote? I would say no. So I think we're behind a rock and a really deep, dark, hard place when it comes to D.C. and these dirtbags that are in Congress.
Here's some of why the 21 Republicans who I read to you didn't want to vote for this, what they considered wasteful, number one, and number two, prioritizing foreign interests over domestic interests. Let's go through a couple of them. Refugee and entrance assistance, there's $5 billion, $5,163 million total, with $5.1 billion available through September 30th of 2028 for refugee and entrance assistance activities, including cash benefits, health care, daycare, job programs, and related support authorized under various immigration and refugee laws. So that was $5 billion. The National Endowment for Democracy, NED, you've heard a lot about this. Couldn't get rid of that. $315 million for grants by the Department of State to NED, described by Thomas Massey as funding a CIA branch involved in global propaganda, destabilization around the world, censorship, and targeting conservative media. So we're giving $315 million there.
To the enemy. Military
aid to Israel. It states in here not less than $3.3 billion in foreign. So many zeros you have to look at it twice. In foreign military finance program grants exclusively for Israel, dispersed within 30 days of enactment. Additional funding for Israeli defense program, $500 million for Israeli cooperative programs, including Iron Dome, short-range ballistic missile defense, and other systems. Aid to Egypt, not less than $1.4 billion for assistance to Egypt, including funds for higher education scholarships and other programs. Aid to Jordan, $2 billion, not to be less than $1.6 billion for budget support, and $425 million plus under foreign military financing. And then global HIV, AIDS, and health programs, $700 million for global health activities, including the global HIV AIDS program. I think that's Gates stuff. So that's some of the stuff that the 21 said, I think I'm a solid no on this. All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. A little more on this, then we'll get into some other news on a Tuesday night.
You know what's crazy about Ned is that a few months ago they were suing the Trump administration because he was trying to cut off their money. Awesome. So let's fund them then.
Well, there's also just a clear, disgraceful way of looking at how we spend our taxpayer money in general. You know, dollar for dollar. There's just no comprehension. It's monopoly money to them. It's fake. It's just this. All of a sudden, you walk in. It's like Dumb and Dumber when they had all that money and they put the IOUs in in the briefcase. I mean, it's exactly like that. They don't have any idea or respect for taxpayer money. Frankly, I was just talking to someone about this. Why pay taxes? We should. Why bring back the Tea Party here and let's start throwing tea off the docks? Because why continue to pay taxes when they just spend our money recklessly and then we have to find all this fraud and other stuff? Like. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it feels like that we should be, if we're going to be protesting anything, maybe we start protesting that stuff till they get their act together.
Well, that's what was his name? Milton Friedman said that. There are 4 ways to spend money. And the way that's the most wasteful is when other people are spending other people's money. They don't care. And that's what 100%. Congress is. They don't care. It's not their money.
It's not their money. And $1 billion? All right, put $1 billion here, put $1 billion there. How much we got? Throw that $1 billion over here, put $1 billion over there. I mean, there's just no respect for our money, besides the corruption, besides all the other stuff that we've noted. But I do think, Delgado, that if we are auditing them individually every year, like they have to pass an audit and we have to show everything, that it might reduce a lot of some of the craziness that we see.
No, I agree. But you're never going to get that codified into law because Congress creates the laws, and they're never going to agree to that. That's the problem.
I understand that. There's a solution, but if nobody's willing to solve the problem, then it just won't get solved, right? And they have no desire or benefit to solve the problem. Why would they want to solve the problem? I mean, they come in making $174,000 and they're worth $30 million after coming into office with a net worth of a few $100,000. I mean, come on.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. I know Thomas Massey is the bad guy to everybody, especially in the administration. The only guy who actually wants to go to Washington and do what he says he actually believes in. He has the courage of his convictions. I hope he absolutely romps whoever this guy is they're putting up against him. But that's another story for another day. Here's the things that he said today that he proposed, to get his vote. Here's the things he wanted in the bill that the Republicans blocked. Preventing the vehicle kill switches, which was Biden thing that Republicans just voted on and couldn't kill it because enough Republicans joined with the Democrats. He wanted that. He wanted ending the warrantless FISA surveillance on all Americans. He wanted the permanent banning of a CBDC. He wanted repealing domestic propaganda allowances, the money that goes to that. He wanted freezing daycare fraud funds. And he wanted the SAVE Act for voter citizenship verification. All of those were blocked or refused and thus not included in the final bill. But aid to Egypt, aid to Jordan, global HIV/AIDS, military aid to Israel, additional funding for Israel defense program, National Endowment for Democracy, and refugee and entrance assistance to the tune of $5 billion. That made it in, but ending surveillance of American citizens through FISA, banning central bank digital currencies, freezing daycare fraud funds, and the SAVE Act to have safer and hopefully truer elections couldn't find their way in. So, all right, let's move on. Vinnie Mac's got some news. We'll do headlines. We'll do sports with Slick. Vinnie Mac coming to you first. Deputy AG, what's going on with Todd Blanche?
Well, first off, we've been seeing a lot of Todd Blanche, haven't we? He's been on so many shows. Oh, Ben did a great interview. He's been on just about every conservative network. He's talking. He's sharing things. He's quite articulate. He's been on the Sunday news shows or so-called news shows with some of the big left-wing hosts and so on, trying to provide clarity on things that are happening. I think he was on Tiny there, Stephanopoulos, right? I think he was on his show over the weekend. But he is doing, I think, the things that we need the Attorney General's office to do. I think he's articulating the things that we need articulated. And what he's pointing out right now is I think, a massive story. And the massive story is not only are they finding all of this fraud, this underground fraud system in Minnesota, and we know it exists in other states. I mean, let's not be naive about that. But what he's connecting for all of those is the movement now to defund ICE and to riot in Minnesota and all that. He has connected that underground fraud system in Minnesota with the people and the perpetrators and all the money and all these things that happen to enable the riots and so on, to distract us for a few weeks on all the fraud against ICE. And that is quite interesting because, I of course looked at that and said, well, here goes, George Soros and that Chinese guy who we talked about on the show last week, who's putting money out there, and all these other groups funding these, this insurrection, for lack of a better word, against ICE in Minnesota. But what he's saying is, you know what? No, this is coordinated amongst the underground fraudsters. They have coordinated these things. And he's saying this, and if he's going to say it on TV like he has, you think he talked about it on the Ingram angle, there must be something here, to that. And when you just consider the ramifications of something like that, because we're going to see the same thing in every state. I think Delgado and I were talking about this when you were out the other day, Damon, that get ready. We're going to see another summer of love across the country. And perhaps it's these underground fraudsters now stepping in. Perhaps it's the George Soroses of the world. But to know there's multiple factions now involved in creating paid protesting and false narratives and trying to block our police from doing their job. It's not just George Soros, is what I'm saying. It's well beyond George Soros. It's these corrupt people underneath that the Democrats and Republicans have enabled and in many ways supported. Todd's talking about that.
How do you suppose we get ICE funded now, Vin?
Well, so ICE is funded.
Oh, I know.
The
we go to the Democrats. I know how we do it. We go to the Democrats and say, if you're not going to fund ICE, we'll go into a government shut. Oh, we can't do that anymore. Yeah.
But ICE is funded through, I think, 2028 or 2029. So it's kind of off the table.
It's the extra money that they were looking for ICE, and extra money they deserve. They've hired a lot more people.
DHS
so how do you
were funded to next week, right? February 13th, I think it said. So what's the leverage point to get what we need from here now that the shutdown is done?
Yeah, there's not a lot of leverage other than partisan things that they want to put in. The voting, that whole voting bill, the SAFE bill, that's going to be part of the leverage in the negotiation, depending on how much support they have for that. It's amazing that they don't have 100 support on both sides to have proper voting going on in this country. But yeah, we don't have a lot of leverage, and that's very, very sad. Just very, very sad to see. I feel like Trump is a great president. He's doing great things, but our Congress and our House and our senators are just so messed up that I don't know what he can do to solve their screwed up system. David, I don't have an answer for that because the system is just so bad. I think Trump is just trying to get through it and accomplish the things he can accomplish within having to play ball with these jerks.
Well, here's Todd Blanche on that fraud investigation. Cut one, Aaron, roll that.
Progress, and we have several ongoing investigations. And remember what was happening in December, Laura. We had a massive fraud going on all through Minneapolis, all through Minnesota, and suddenly it turned almost on a dime, and it became suddenly all about ICE, all about getting ICE out and how horrible ICE was doing. But really what we have here is a massive underground fraud network operating in Minneapolis, and we had a very strong pushback when we raised our hands and said stop. And so yes, we have multiple investigations going on. We sent prosecutors from Maine Justice. We sent prosecutors from other U.S. attorneys' offices all over the country, and we're making progress every day.
Yeah, but nobody's been arrested.
Nobody's
been arrested. They picked up people who walked through the Capitol who were even in the vicinity, sat in jail for years in some cases. All fine. But people are committing fraud. We know what's going on. And they say they're investigating, but nobody gets arrested yet again. And what's amazing is I think actually Trump was listening to me, Damon, because Todd Blanche is doing the talking now for the Department of Justice, not Pam Bondi because she stinks at it. So congratulations, Mr. President. You got that part right. But now we got to see some people in handcuffs. And we want them to sit in jail for a while. And believe me, you pick up the lower hanging fruit, you squeeze them a little bit, they're going to start pointing fingers. We all know that's how this works. How about you do some of that, Justice Department? I'm sure you're looking at it. I mean, you can't tell me that Jeffrey Epstein had all these kids that were, raped, but nobody actually performed the rape because nobody got arrested for it except for Ghislaine Maxwell. It's an amazing thing. But that's Washington, D.C.
All right, 38 past the hour.
Sorry.
Let's lighten it up a little bit, and then we'll get back to the news, the depressing news.
Sorry, I'm angry. Make me laugh, Damon.
Trump might be looking for a new job, and he went on a job interview, and that is the basis of today's Baby News Network update. Rolling, Aaron.
Hey, hiring sign. You're fired.
Come on. That's awesome.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm running it.
So you want to work here at McDonald's?
Don't get it twisted, Kamala. I don't want the job. The job wants me. Ronald called me himself, begging, very emotional, almost crying. Clowns don't cry often, by the way. Very stoic people. Pagliacci, great opera, sad clown, tremendous voice. But Ronald, tears. He said, Mr. Trump, I need you in one of my franchises.
What are your qualifications?
Same as yours for president, 0. But I love McDonald's. The Golden Arches, they call it. Very few people know that. Big Mac, beautiful sandwich. Apple pies, a little too hot sometimes. We'll look into that. Filet-O-Fish, very underrated. Remember Filet-O-Fish Fridays? We're bringing that back. Make Fridays Filet-O-Fish again.
Okay, well, one thing you need to know is you don't just fall out of a coconut tree into this job. When you work at McDonald's, you exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you, which is hunger, but what can be unburdened by what has been is being full.
Kamala, wrap it up. I need an Egg McMuffin before I evolve into a different species listening to you. Egg McMuffin's breakfast of champions. Muhammad Ali told me that once. We had breakfast at a rest stop in Newark. He said, champ. He called me champ. These McMuffins are almost as good as your Trump steaks. I said, almost, Ali, almost.
Okay. You're hired.
Hello. Does this robot sense humans or heat or hair plugs?
It senses intelligence, Joe. You're invisible.
Jill, he says I'm invisible. Am I invisible?
Jill's not in the car, Joe.
Dr. Jill.
Right? Doctor. We must call her doctor. She has a PhD in education. What's she going to do? Perform open heart surgery on a history textbook?
Can I get, here's the deal. Right. Can I get a Licky Tower?
I'm not even sure what he's ordering. I don't think he knows what he's ordering either, quite frankly.
I'd like a quarter pounder with cheese, please, and make it snappy. I'm so hungry I could eat the north end of a southbound skunk.
Senator Kennedy, I never know what the hell you're saying, but I love it. You're like if Mark Twain and Foghorn Leghorn had a baby. McDonald's? Great experience. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Will I? Probably not. I've got a country to run. But when I'm back in office, 2 executive orders. 1, McRib is permanent, no more limited time only. And we're finally investigating the Hamburglar. Years of theft, inside job, stealing from his own company, RICO charges, permanent McRib, grimace behind bars, Hamburglar in court. That's the America we deserve.
All right, there you go.
That was great.
Oh, man.
That was great. That was superb. Holy cow. Wow.
God.
Man, Baby News Network.
Unburdened by what has been.
Stuff.
They just kill it.
Oh, man.
Absolutely kill it. The voices are so spot on. Oh, man. Hey, speaking of, not to jump around here like a maniac, but what about Todd Blanche getting rid of Ed Martin? Did you see that? I'm a little surprised by that. What's going on there?
Did that actually happen?
Ed Martin was supposedly kind of the hammer down there to go after some of this government waste and fraud and all this other stuff I think he was undertaking, wasn't he? The report is that Blanche shut it down. Maybe it's not true, but that's what I saw. Did you see anything about that, Vin?
I did not. No, I did not know that.
Yeah,
didn't see a word.
Basically, what they're saying is he was removed from his role as the weaponization czar at the Justice Department.
How do you remove the eagle? All right, 43 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
Yeah, that's a surprising story. I didn't even see that, Ed Martin. That happened quietly, didn't it?
I mean, I don't know how you remove him. Especially since he hasn't been there that long. Because remember, he couldn't get the deal. They couldn't get the deal done in D.C. And then they put Pirro there. And then they moved him to Washington into the DOJ. And why would you get rid of him? He's like the biggest, one of the toughest guys I think you got. But man, I don't know. What do I know about it? Nothing. Seems that way though.
Well, what do we know about Tard Blanche? I mean, he seems articulate. He's out there talking. He seems like all these things. What do we know about him?
I don't know anything other than what I see on socials, and you can't trust any of that. But I can tell you this: conservatives on socials have way more concerns about Blanche than they do about Eagle Ed Martin. I can tell you that 100%.
Looks like career lawyers were blocking Martin at every turn when it came to investigating Chuck Schumer and Adam Shifty Schiff.
We got to get these guys. We just can't allow anything to move forward without some of these guys, paying the price. I mean, we cannot. The January 6th committee, all the rest of these clowns.
Like, I think given the choice of the two, people would vote for Blanche to be fired 99-1 over Ed Martin. That would be my guess.
Wow. Yeah,
what's the chat think here?
Frustrating.
Are we way off here, chat? You love Blanche? Blanche was a Dem until 2024, someone said. Trump would be in jail if not for Todd Blanche. Okay. Both sides. Get rid of Blanche. Trump used to be a Democrat. True. Don't you guys watch Grant Stinchfield? Well, no, Joe. We're usually getting ready for the show. He's on right before us, so no, we don't.
What did Grant have to say?
Yeah, what did Grant have to say? What are they quoting there?
I don't know. Guess he covered it. Blanche is a mole. Fake news on Martin. Okay. Is it fake?
What, that he was being blocked?
That he's being removed?
Well, he still has.
Studio 6B. Let's do some main headlines. Rick Delgado's got them. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, Damon. Well, the greatest headlines in the world are going to start off with somebody I mentioned a little bit earlier when I got angry. Sorry about that. Former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have agreed to testify in the House investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Their submission to demands to appear, delivered initially by email through a third party, thereby avoids a vote to hold the former Secretary of State and former president in criminal contempt after months of refusing to testify in person about the personal files now in circulation in general and their relationship with pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein in particular. It's unclear when the depositions will take place. It is clear, however, this is the first time a former U.S. president has testified to a congressional panel since Gerald Ford did so in 1983. Now, they were negotiating back and forth. Comer was being tough. He was playing the hard line because the Clintons, of course, didn't want Secretary Hillary Clinton to appear. They just thought, well, she could just write something up and send it in. Comer said no. He continued to press for criminal contempt charges on both Clintons into last evening, defying the congressional subpoena when the attorneys for the Clintons emailed the staff of the oversight panel saying the pair is going to accept Comer's demands and will appear at depositions on mutually agreeable dates, which is wild because, when you listen to Jamie Raskin talk about this, Damon, here he is in cut number 4. He seems to have two different opinions when it comes to congressional subpoenas. Here's cut number 3. Jamie Raskin, check this out.
Will you vote yes?
I mean, I will vote yes on contempt against them and anybody else as long as Pam Bondi is part of it.
So you vote no on the Clinton?
I will definitely vote no on any partisan measure.
When you are subpoenaed to testify in court or in Congress, you show up, period. So we must enforce the rule of law here, my colleagues. We must do it. If you act deliberately with sneering, cavalier contempt for the American people and their representatives, we will hold you in contempt.
Yes, unless, of course, it's a Democrat, then he'll vote no every single day, twice on Sundays, because that's the way they operate.
One of the slimiest liars we have.
He really is.
Oh, man.
Just a complete
Hypocrisy.
dirtbag. I don't care how many hair plugs he has in his head. He's still an awful human being. Here is President Trump. He was asked about the Clintons finally deciding to meet Comer's demands and testify. This is cut number 4. President Trump. Cut 4. Check this out.
Today we heard that the Clintons set deposition dates to testify before the House Oversight Committee. Any reaction to that related to
I think it's a shame, to be honest. I always liked him. Her, she's a very capable woman. She was better in debating than some of the other people, I will tell you that. She was smart woman. I hate to see it in many ways. I hate to see it. But, then I look at me. They went after me like, they wanted me to go to jail for the rest of my life. Then it turned out I was innocent, very innocent.
Yeah, so again, Comer earlier rejected the offers from the attorneys for the Clintons to have Bill Clinton conduct a transcribed interview and Hillary Clinton submit a sworn declaration. He insisted both Clintons sit for sworn depositions before the committee in order to fulfill the panel subpoenas. So we'll see what transpires in terms of what dates. They already missed the date they were supposed to show up because, let's face it, these are the Clintons. They think they're above it all. But I feel like this is a good example of seeing people whose power has now diminished, say from 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you'd never even gotten close. This time, I feel like they're able to actually put some pressure on them. So I appreciate that Comer is, kind of drew a line in the sand, so to speak, and refused to budge on it.
I mean,
their power is not only diminished, but their own party has been turning on them. So between Epstein and all the stuff that Hillary did, I think their own party's turning on them.
He is so much more magnanimous, or I don't know what another word would be, than I would be. I hate to see it, he says.
Yeah.
Why you hate to see it?
No, because he's talked about this before. Like in his first administration, he didn't want them to go after Hillary. He's like, it wouldn't be good for the country. I think that's probably where he's still thinking. There's a former president.
No offense, but that horse is so far left the barn after what they've done the last 5 years.
Believe me, I agree.
I mean, that's crazy town.
Yeah. And speaking of Crazy Town, another clip that I caught from this briefing this afternoon at the White House. Here's cut number 5. Caitlin Collins, you might know her from her stints on CNN and CNN. Here she is trying to get a question into the president. Cut number 5. Check this out.
I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
But what would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say?
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they haven't gotten justice?
You are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
I'm asking you about survivors.
You know why you're not smiling? Because you're not telling the truth. And you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
It's always nice when he swipes at the Caitlin Collins of the world. I wish he would direct some of that blunt talk to the members of Congress.
Well, he does. Yes. Just unfortunately the wrong ones.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He pressures the ones that don't want to move off what they actually believe in and what they actually said they were going to go there to do.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, one thing I did want to touch on, because I know it's been getting a lot of play, is this Savannah Guthrie's mom. The latest that's going down in the investigation there out of Pima County in Arizona, basically encompassing Tucson, Arizona. Pima County Sheriff giving an update on the situation. They were doing some more updating this afternoon. Now, from what I last read and what I've seen is there has been a ransom note that was delivered to TMZ earlier today. That's been turned over to authorities. They're looking into that. But Nancy Guthrie, 84, was reported missing around noon on Sunday. She was last seen the night before. Sheriff Chris Nanos provided more details on the timeline, saying she had been dropped off at the home at 9:30 on Saturday and was supposed to be at church the next morning around 11 a.m. When she didn't show up, that's when they started looking for her and noticed that she was not at home. And they also have considered this is a crime scene. I was watching some of they had helicopters flying around the area late this afternoon. They're looking for fingerprints, DNA, camera images, anything that can help them kind of process the crime scene and gather up and see what may have happened to Savannah Guthrie's mom. President Trump actually did comment on this as well. He was asked about it today in the White House. Here is President Trump talking about this. This is cut number 6. Cut number 6, President Trump. Check this out.
Have you been briefed on Savannah Guthrie's mom missing in Arizona?
I think it's terrible.
Would you commit to more federal agents, like helping out on the
Sure, I would. I'm going to call her later on. I think it's a terrible thing. I always got along very good with Savannah. Very unusual situation, but we're going to find out.
Yeah, so there you have the president commenting on it. Kash Patel, FBI director, has also commented on it, saying they're ready to lend a hand and get involved wherever they're needed. It's just an odd story unfortunately, for Savannah Guthrie's mom, who's 84 years old. And aside from some mobility issues, her mind was. She was sharp. She was intact. She just had some mobility issues, and they're saying that she was carried out from the home. And last I heard, they also found some droplets of blood.
I thought she had some serious medical problems too, but I thought she had.
I think it was just mobility.
She had medicine that she couldn't go too long without.
That too.
A pacemaker.
Yeah.
Slick, how are you? How was your event?
Great event. Wow, crazy.
All right. Slick will be here for hour 2. Vin, go ahead. What'd you say?
We all have parents, and if they're still alive, they're hopefully wanting to live at home in their homes. And, this is scary for everybody that something like this could possibly happen.
All right, quick wrap hour 1, hour 2 coming back. Slickster's here. We'll do some sports in hour 2. More news, more headlines, more Vinnie Mac. Aaron and Fran holding it down. We're back. Real America's Voice right after this.
Chat, live in the chat.
Ba-da-da, 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 ba. Ba-da-da, 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 ba. What is going on in chat? Chat.
The chat word.
Former Rancher Dane says, hello, Delgado.
Howdy do.
Sherry Merrill says, great music, Fran.
Thank you.
No, Fran, not you. Julian Martinez says, good guitar sound for the break. Ronald Hackman says, all right, Slick Rick is back.
Yes. Slick, we saw you dancing, man. It was very interesting, but I think you landed 4 planes as well while you were dancing, which was interesting.
Exactly.
It was very good, very good. It's all smooth landings. Moni Eckert, Julian Martinez, good to see both of you here on the chat and Facebook. I'm looking to see, there was someone who made a comment about Trump and this whole thing with that CNN reporter not liking Trump's conduct on that. I don't get it. These people have just, all they've done is try to bury Trump. What can they find positive about that?
Hey, he's been here the whole time.
Guthrie has a pacemaker, Marie Byrne is telling you, Geldado. She has a pacemaker that no longer syncs with her Apple Watch, so she might be too far away from home now. for it to do that. But you can live without a pacemaker. It's there for, when you have irregular heartbeats, it puts it back in regularity.
San Pesh on X, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Nancy Burns on X, hello? Okay.
This time on Law and Border, we'll head across the country and show you the enemies within who are protesting and rioting against ICE.
Yeah, they're not messing around today.
The Law and Border team starts out in Chicago, Illinois, also known as the Windy City, but is now nothing more than a lawless city because of Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritzker.
We got some they-them energy.
And then we'll head to Los Angeles as a new wave of campaign season riots kick off.
Nothing gained.
Yeah. There, we'll expose more of the hypocrisy of the radical left as their communities are driven into the ground under their virtue signal and failed policies. These federal law enforcement officers are putting their lives on the line every single day to remove the criminal illegal aliens that Joe Biden and the Democrats allowed into our country.
The communities that are aiding and abetting protecting them.
Guys from live from Studio 6B, they're pretty hysterical. Have you seen this Slick Rick guy?
Oh man.
Slickstar!
I got a career in sign language now, I know.
9 o'clock on the East Coast, Real America's Voice, Hour 2. Glad you're in. Slick is in the house. He's going to do some sports here in Hour 2 and maybe dance a little bit as well. Rick Delgado's going to do main headlines. Vinnie Mac in the West Palm Beach studio. He's got some more news. Aaron and friend. Vinny looks like he might be dancing right now there. Oh, there you go. Oh.
Hello.
He looks like he's decompressing.
Vin, you're
He's depixelating.
He's depixelating and decompressing. So we got to get rid of Vin. It's like it's like a magic trick. Every time Vin appears, he's in a different location.
That's true.
So we're gonna have to either fix Vin or just dump him here.
That's rough.
I don't know. So
you're one of the originals.
Hour 2, live from Studio 6B. Lots to get to, and it's funny because I was going to go to Vin because Vin's got some more news that we haven't done. But let me say hello to Slick. Slickster, welcome to the show. How was your meeting?
It was fantastic. Actually, I saw the Suffolk County DA, Ray Tierney, was there. He said hello. Right away, hey Rick, how you doing? He's trying that big Gilgo Beach murder case coming.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the crazy thing. So good to see Ray. Great room. A lot of attorneys. I'll tell you, most of these attorneys today very conservative here on Long Island.
Really?
Thank goodness for that. Yeah.
Any big fans of the Slickster or the show there?
At the post office, somebody said, Slick Rick, when I got out of the car. An old friend of mine who watches the show, Rich, he was happy to see me. So he said, love the show.
So your picture hanging on the wall?
You just be quiet there, Vince. Lay off Slick.
Oh, sorry, I'm decompressing.
Listen, I watched that video. You know, my wife took that video, but she pulled her phone out a little late. Hope she's not watching.
Oh, my God. Here we go again with this guy. Oh,
there was two spins that you would have loved right out of the book of Michael Jackson. But I'm 61, so, you got to forgive me. I don't have quite the pop that I did at that age. No, but there was two spins. He goes. I just did two beautiful spins after that. That was the end.
Now he's throwing his wife under the bus.
No, my wife.
A
little Vogue. Can't throw my wife under the bus. Goodness. My wife is the bus. Trust me on that one.
She's going to run your ass over when you get home.
That's it.
Say that much.
But,
oh, man.
Was that Vogue? Were you voguing there?
I was everything in there, Vin.
I was everything in there. Yeah.
He looked like Jackie Chan fighting.
I look like Bruce Lee, somebody said. Jackie Chan. No, Bruce Lee, that's
If you had to pick one song to get down to, and we were going to film it, what song would it be?
1999. That's the song that really is. That is Slick Rick, actually. That is actually, that's me. I remember the first time I ever heard that song was just released that night, October of 1982. I was on a platform in Rockville Center train station. I'll never forget it. Man, I almost fell off the platform and got electrocuted and wouldn't have been here today. That's how much I love that song.
Yeah.
All right, very good. 1999. So, all right, we got lots to do. We'll get to sports with Slick here in an hour or two, but let me go back to Vinnie Mac because he's got some stories to catch up on here, and then we'll do some sports. What's going on, Vinnie?
There are days where you hear politicians talk like Chuck Schumer. There are days where you can stomach it, and there are days where you just can't stomach it. But every time I hear him in particular, but there's more than a few of them. It seems like there's a majority of them now that just spew out lies and innuendo and all kinds of nonsense. Chuck Schumer is basically equating the SAVE Act. Let's vote fairly. Let's have ID. Let's do it properly with Jim Crow 2.0. I mean, what type of scare tactic is this? If anybody on the left, and by the way, the statistics and the voting do not back him up on this. The majority of Americans across the country want to see voting cleaned up. The majority of Americans want to see that. I think CNN did a poll on that. They want to see it cleaned up. But he comes out and pontificates things that are just so grossly untrue. I just can't believe he can get in front of the podium and talk like this. And bringing racism once again into the voting ecosystem. Clearly, this is something they're setting the table for. They do not want to see any type of fair voting. We are going to be busting people left and right, hopefully, if the AG does their job. With all the voter fraud, and we do need this SAVE Act. Now, I understand Thune and others are working right now to pass something through once this bill was signed by Trump for funding the government. So I hope that is true. Trump just posted on Truth Social that that's what's happening. They got 50 votes in the Senate to push it through. I don't know if that's true. I just know Trump posted it on Truth Social. But it's things like this that Schumer does. If you don't agree with the bill, state reasons you don't agree with it that we can that people can actually understand, not these ridiculous innuendos that he seems to do with everything. So he just got under my skin today, Damon. That's all. Another day dealing with Chuck Schumer where he just gets under my skin, and I felt like I just wanted to put it out there and let him have a little rebuttal.
Well, the news here in this story is that Chuck Schumer could still surprise you, that you would be surprised that Chuck Schumer would say or do anything. He's one of the more repulsive members we've ever seen. And one of the biggest disgusting liars, fraud, empty suits that we've ever had in the Senate. He would say and do anything. If you were standing there underneath the sunny blue sky, he would tell you the sky's green, and he would believe it because he is a A+ liar. So the fact that you say you're surprised that he would get up in front of TV and say this is really more of the story to me than Schumer, because I don't even know how that's possible.
I'm not surprised. I guess I'm just I can't believe I'm so disgusted again by this guy, because this is all he does. When Trump wasn't in office, he was still radical and crazy, but it just seems like Trump brings out the worst in this guy. He brings out the big, beautiful lies that this guy tells for some reason. Like, Trump really presses this guy's button. Meanwhile, he couldn't have kissed Trump's butt more, getting money and so on, before Trump got into politics. I mean, he was Trump with everything. He's take Trump all over the place and try and get money from him. Now he's just, whatever Trump says is the opposite. But I'm not surprised. I just am appalled, and I can't believe I'm appalled again. Like, I shouldn't be. I should just expect this from this guy.
I can't believe you're appalled either. And honestly, I wouldn't give Thune any credit. I wouldn't give him 1 ounce of credit. I don't know what they're doing on the SAVE Act. But Thune acts like he's reinventing the world to say that we're going to trigger like a talking filibuster. When meanwhile, unless I'm wrong, which is very possible, a talking filibuster would set no precedent, because isn't that the current rule in the Senate? I don't understand how that's reinventing the wheel, or that's somehow, so tough to do. Why don't you just say, listen, we really despise our base. And we're just here to get along. And I know I watched the best ever do it. For so many years, I stood behind him and did nothing. And now I'm the guy in charge of doing nothing. And really what would set any precedent is if any of us got off our ass and actually passed any legislation that meant anything. That's what he should say. Because that at least would be the truth. Oh, I don't know. We can do it. I don't know if we can do a talking filibuster. This is so hard. That's the current rule in the Senate. What the hell's so hard about it? What are you talking about? So, I mean, that guy sucks, too.
I like the job description. Let me just take a look at that. Do nothing. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that fine. Watch Mitch McConnell do nothing.
I mean, I don't know. Well, Delgado, am I wrong?
You're not wrong. I think it's called a standing filibuster, by the way.
That's what I said.
Did you say standing or talk?
Yeah, where you actually, the Democrats have to actually get up there and talk. And that's the old, isn't that that's the current rule in the Senate, I believe.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, because they made it sound like it's a big deal, like, oh, we're going to get this going.
That's my point.
So I'm not sure, like, what other filibusters there could be. But just to give you a little heads up, Mitch McConnell was hospitalized. So if you're looking for that vote, you can forget about it. So that's another way that the Republicans can screw you by saying, well, Mitch can't vote, so we lose another vote there.
Turtle.
Sean Davis from the Federalist, 5 hours ago. Senate Republicans refused to force standing filibusters, which would lead to bills passing with only 51 votes, because it would condition their own voters to actually getting the laws they were promised enacted into law. Can't have that now, can we? Second, such a process would expose the 10 to 15 most worthless Republicans who would vote against these bills. See, this is what I always said about the filibuster when they say we got to get rid of the filibuster. You do that at your own peril because you do that assuming that you're going to be able to get 51. McConnell, Murkowski, Collins. I mean, you could put 5 up in 5 seconds that could vote against anything you want to do. That's Trump first, America first. So you're not even guaranteed to get 51 if you nuke the filibuster.
Yeah.
But he says, so back to Sean Davis. Second, such a process would expose the 10 to 15 most worthless Republicans who would vote against these bills, showing that even with a majority, Republicans somehow never have a majority, which is, again, I always say, if it's 51-49, it's never that. It's 20-80.
Nah.
As a result, they used the 60-vote threshold as a handy excuse for their own refusal to ever do anything they promised. They always have the time and the votes to shovel your money to Ukraine or to carve out new tax loopholes for their corporate lobbyist friends. What they have no time or patience for is doing anything their actual constituents demand. And that right there is why Republicans are going to get destroyed in November if they don't start doing what they promised.
Yeah, and you know, we played that clip last night of Anna Paulina and Tim Burchett talking about Thune discussing the standing filibuster, but that's all it is. It's talk. And talk is cheap, especially when it comes to these swarmy Republicans like Thune and McConnell's, where, you know, they have an R next to their name, but that just doesn't mean they support what you want. So
term limits, audits. We need a lot of drastic maneuvers on these guys. We have to do these things.
I understand that, Vin, but they're the ones who vote on it. They're never going to vote to examine their own crimes.
Okay, here we go. So I think I'm right. So I just found this with Sean Davis's page. It led me to this. This is about passing the SAVE Act. This is the filibuster. This still doesn't ensure passage of the SAVE Act, and it definitely doesn't allow it to pass with simple majority. The false expectations setting risk, pissing the base off. And then Rachel Bovard, who has been on this show, number one, and she is at the Conservative Partnership Institute, says, how does it not allow for passage at a simple majority? A rules change is not required under this strategy to pass at simple majority. When you've broken the filibuster, all speech is expired, the leader puts the question at simple majority. This isn't a rule change. It's the regular order, meaning that's what the regular order is right now. So there's no precedent here. There's no jumping through hoops that Thune has to do. He just has to have the will to do it.
And he doesn't.
All right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this. So Bongino had show 2 today. Did you watch any of show 1 or 2 now? Me neither.
Dude, I've been too busy.
Really? Has he said anything interesting? Any
I haven't watched any. I honestly haven't watched any of it, and I haven't seen a lot of sound bites. Honestly,
that's surprising. I wonder if he's got anything to say, or he's gonna be, not muzzled, but say less than he normally would after being in, the position he was in. Well, something's got to change because we can't continue with the Senate, Congress, and Senate like this. Just can't. Slick, how are the Islanders doing?
Islanders was 2-2 last I looked. Then when I walked in, they were tied at 2. They were up 2-1, and then they pumped in a goal to Pittsburgh. It's 3-2. Pittsburgh is winning right now with 14 to go in the second period. Islanders need a win. They got mopped up last night with the Caps. I wasn't happy about that at all. I really didn't talk much about that, Vin. They got mopped up last night.
Hey, why not?
Come on. Well, it's a long season, but we're in a good spot. But we got to get these wins. Let's come back and let's beat Pittsburgh tonight.
Schaefer scored again.
Oh, he's unbelievable, that kid. That means he should have tied.
Goal.
I think he tied the record. I think he tied the NHL record for scoring by a rookie defenseman. Now he's got to surpass it, which he's got plenty of games to go. That kid's going to be something. That's another Bobby Orr. And that's saying something. That's saying a lot. That's saying a real lot for hockey fans. I mean, we're going back, 50 years plus.
My daughter's at the game tonight.
Oh, really? Nice.
Watching it, yep.
What section?
I don't know.
Come on, Vin. Well, you're a celebrity. She's got to be like 101, seat 1 and 2 off the glass. Come on, man.
She's on the bench. No, okay. She got tickets. I was supposed to go with her, and I couldn't get back. So she's there with, I think, my nephew and her boyfriend. So
when they won their last cup, I was in 338, way in the nosebleeds, man. There were brooms were rubbing off the ceiling because they said had swept Edmonton and won their 4th cup. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. I was 18.
Oh man,
God, I never
the
thought
Coliseum was something else, wasn't it?
I can't even describe it. It was so crazy. It was crazy.
Now you're going to be 80 and they haven't won since.
You're right. It's about right.
Crazy.
Not 80, 61. Oh, God. Man, oh, man. 80, I'll be dead.
Rachel Bavard's post clarifies that the proposed strategy for the SAVE Act requiring proof of U.S. citizenship
That'll be slick.
Involves forcing a traditional talking Filipino. Sound like the blues. We're only weeks, into winter. I think about 50 days or so, 60 days until we're out of winter. It's already been brutal cold, huge snowstorms, and of course, power outages. Think about this. If the power goes out when it's really cold, do you have a way to keep yourself and your family warm? This is the real problem. Winter power outages can even be life-threatening, like in Texas a few years ago. That's why so many Americans are getting a Vesta off-grid heater from My Patriot Supply. This is a great idea. It's a space heater that doesn't use electricity or propane. It runs on something called canned heat, which is an indoor safe fuel. With a Vesta stashed in your closet, you can keep warm no matter what. It even doubles as a stove to cook your food, which is also pretty cool. The best part is right now you can get the Vesta and a bunch more preparedness gear as free gifts when you order the Winter Survival Kit from My Patriot Supply. So go to mypatriotsupply.com/RAV, R-A-V, to see everything that's included. This offer won't last long. So go to mypatriotsupply.com/Rav today. That's mypatriotsupply.com/Rav today. mypatriotsupply.com/Rav. There you go. Your winter survival kit, including a Vesta off-grid space heater, which again is great if you live someplace where you're not used to losing power in the winter and it gets cold, or if you work in a studio that's designed by Harry on the highway where the heat doesn't work and it's 30 degrees every night. But go check it out, mypatriotsupply.com/Rav, and look at that winter survival kit. And man, this winter is, they've been telling us for a couple years, this winter's going to be the one, and we've been skating them for the last couple years. Boy, we're in the middle of it now.
Deep freeze coming in too to Long Island next couple days.
It's just not going away.
Yeah.
And I've actually contemplated this situation for Long Island. A lot of places on Long Island, you got electric underground, but there's still a lot of places where you got poles.
No, a lot of poles, a lot of utility poles. Rick dances on them.
Archaic.
I mean, and I was thinking, man, if we lose the power here, I mean, you can try to get the water out of your pipes as quick as you can, but man, if you can't keep the house somewhat, or at least the space somewhat warm,
in trouble.
You got to find some place that's got a generator. So that's a good idea, man. That Vesta is a good idea. So. All right, let's do some sports. Slickster is here. Sports is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
Somebody in the chat told me last night, the YouTube chat, Big D, they can't find any Vestas, that they're sold out.
Really?
Yeah, I forget who it was, but one of my friends in the chat, come back on the YouTube, said that the Vestas, tell Big D, the Vestas are sold out. He's been trying to find one. So unbelievable. And speaking of the aforementioned Harry Oates, he sent me a text about 10 minutes ago.
I thought you sent you a check. I said, wait.
No, Harry sent me a check. Harry. He might as well send me a basketball. Same thing. They both bounce. Anyway, this is from a viewer, Laura. Harry, I love you. You know that. Harry must be watching the show tonight. Harry, please, please, please tell the guys to have Slick Rick dance to 1999. That would be so awesome. So. One day. But anyway, the great Harry Oates sharing that text from a follower. Vin.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Just what I need. We'll do it at the warehouse one night, Vin. Vin, you could actually play 1999 on the piano.
Oh, my goodness. Don't do that.
Damon's been asking me to play that.
I know.
I'm going to do it.
In about 12 weeks from now, Harry's going to send you a text telling you that Trump avoided the shutdown and signed the bill into...
Breaking. I'll tell you, if we ever go to Vegas, it's going to be over. It'll be on like chicken parmesan if we ever get out there, man, one day. But one day. Harry Oates could be the ringleader, get us out there. But anyway, Big D, have you followed this? I mean, I don't know what's going on with the NFL, but I'm ready to put an aluminum foil hat on with the NFL. Patriots owner Robert Kraft left out of Pro Football Hall of Fame inductees for 2026. Here's an owner that has won 6 Super Bowls. Count them. Six.
At this point, this is obvious what's going on. I mean, come on.
Well, exactly. Well, I'm stating the obvious, but just the same, it's ridiculous. Warren Todd Houston of Breitbart reporting, New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft did not make the cut for the list of 2026 inductees for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, a report says. ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting that Kraft will not be inducted this year versus WNBC TV reporting. The report comes on the heels of more than a week of controversy over the Hall of Fame voters' decision to shun Patriots coach Bill Belichick as well. Many have denied the claim. At least some of the slate of the Hall of Fame electors, mostly members of the sports media, had spurned Belichick over the twin scandals of Deflategate and Spygate. Kraft was also the team's owner during these scandals. However, it has not been asserted if the two scandals were deciding factors in any of the Hall of Fame voters' decisions. Schefter also noted that this was the first year that Kraft became a finalist in the contributor category. It is not clear why he was left off the list of inductees. Kraft has owned the Patriots since 1996, and the team's 10 Super Bowl appearances since then have set an NFL record. The Patriots went to the Super Bowl once under head coach Bill Parcells and 9 times under Bill Belichick. Kraft has also been a key player among NFL owners, spearheaded several league initiatives, and played a significant role in ending the 2011 player lockout. What do we think's going on here, guys? I mean, this is absolutely insane. And by the way, he has got his team already. They brought him on a plane yesterday. They're in this year's Super Bowl against Seattle. I mean, come on. There's something going on here.
With the way things are going, there's no way Brady gets in first time, right? If they can hold out the coach and the owner from the same team, what makes you think they're going to let Brady in the first time? They're going to be like, we can't. Now they've actually made it worse because it'll look terrible if he goes in on the first try.
You know, one of the guys who supposedly votes as one of the voters on this has already said that, and he said Brady ain't going either.
Wow.
Really?
He only won 7 Super Bowls. He won one with Tampa a couple of years ago. I mean, that's
now it's going to take
insane.
more than that one guy, but I saw one guy actually come out and say it.
Yeah, but
that's crazy.
That is, I'm telling you, I don't know what kind of statement they're trying to make, but they're certainly making a statement, and I don't believe it's good. I'm really starting to lose my faith in these writers and the voting system, and this really needs to be exposed. Maybe totally revamped. I don't know, but it's absolutely insane. An owner like Kraft, I mean. So the Spygate thing, Deflategate thing, he paid a $500,000 fine. If you talk to the great Jimmy Johnson, whom I love, my favorite coach of all time, next to Tom Landry, who's obviously on a whole different pedestal. But you talk to him, he said, we tried cheating too. It just didn't work. We didn't get caught. He says, because we didn't do good with it. So, but everybody did their Spygating and stuff. So it's absolutely insane. So, and then what I'm excited about, Big D, is the Olympics are coming up now. We got that starting up in about 7-8 days. And I'm going to do it. Lindsey Vonn says she will compete at the Olympics despite a ruptured ACL. This is Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart saying, I'm going to do it. U.S. skier Lindsey Vonn says she intends to compete at the Olympics despite suffering a brutal ACL tear just last week. I'm not letting this slip through my fingers, she said, of competing at the Olympics this year. I'm gonna do it. End of story. The 41-year-old skier added, so I'm not letting myself go down that path. I'm not crying. My head is high. I'm standing tall, and I'm gonna do my best, and whatever the result is, that's what it is. I can never say I didn't try. Vonn suffered a brutal wipeout during her final alpine skiing World Cup event in Crans, Montana, Switzerland on Friday, and was immediately hospitalized after the crash. She ended up being told she suffered a completely ruptured ACL in her left knee. Several skiers said the conditions on the track were horrendous, and 2 other competitors also crashed on Friday at the event, according to CNN. But Vonn is also scheduled to race the women's downhill event on Sunday at the 2026 Winter Games Open in Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italy. Despite the terrible injury, though, Vonn is now insisting that she fully intends to compete at the Olympics this coming weekend. So that's right after the Super Bowl, the Olympics start, and you can see this wipeout here. Watch her. She
better get herself to go see Dr. Marks at HSS if she thinks she's going to compete in how long?
Look
a week?
At that cut.
2 weeks?
Yeah, not even 5 days.
What?
Look at this cut. Look at this cut. Whoa. And she laid out there. Yeah. So, I mean, Lindsey Vonn, one of the greatest skiers of all time in Olympic history. She's won, 4 gold medals? She's exceptional. So that's a wrap in sports, Big D. I'm going to slide it back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. We got to figure out what's going on in the Minnesota governor's race. I saw something yesterday that Mike was up, and I saw something today that he's getting killed by Klobuchar. Which one of them is right? All right, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
Ceremony. So all these.
I give Lindsey Vonn credit there, Slick. She's first off. This is her last Olympics, and she's probably like, you know what? I don't want to ruin my life, but maybe I can get hurt a little more, maybe not, but I'm going for it. I give her credit, man.
It's a blown out ACL. Usually it takes a year to recover from something like that.
Yeah, for the average Joe.
So what the heck?
She's a week out.
She's gonna take somebody else's spot.
She's just gonna ski with it. And hope that she doesn't make it. I guess can't make it worse if it's completely torn. She's not going to make it worse.
And she's already had an epic career.
But her stability is going to be.
She's had an epic career.
And boy, snow and ice, that's really stable.
I just hope she doesn't.
I don't even think she finishes a run.
No, but I just hope she doesn't get hurt more. So but let her do it. Maybe she'll have a knee brace on. She'll work it. She's an epic skier though. One of the greatest in U.S. Skiing history, no question. Vin, how do you think the USA Olympic team is going to do? What do you think about that? Have you looked at that? What's your thoughts on that? Oh, Canada.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing with the Olympic hockey. The international hockey is every team is good.
Stacked.
I mean, international hockey, global hockey is incredible. Everyone's good. The Canadians and the United States, superb. The Russians have a decent team. So, I think it's going to come down again to the Canadians and the Americans, but we both have great teams.
Sweden has a good team, too. Sweden has a very good team, too.
Sweden has a great team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like this, though. I don't like putting the pros in to play this. Like, we watch them play professional all year. Let's let the college kids back in. Now that we got Russia under control, because they have pro athletes now. They want them to play pro, they play pro. They want them to play amateur, then we can put them back in the Olympics. Let's change it back. I hate this stuff. Dream team sucks. I don't want to see a dream team ever again. I mean, it makes me sick.
Keep the young guys.
It just makes me sick. I
couldn't agree more, Vin. I think your statement is excellent on that. I agree. Keep it pure. It's what it should be. It should be amateurs. That's what the Olympics always has been. Then they go on to great professional careers, whether it be skating, skiing, whatever it is, or Olympics sprinters. Let's keep it pure.
Yeah, but
I don't want. I know Russia's got their pros.
No, you're advocating for Lindsey Vonn, a professional skier.
Well, Lindsey Vonn has been.
Well, throw her out too.
She's an amateur.
But she's not an amateur.
Sure, she's in the World Cup. She's in a lot of different games.
You think they don't get paid for that stuff?
What is there?
Are you out of your tree?
Everybody, listen. You got college football players getting paid with NILs now. Everybody and their mother's getting paid, as they should. Hey, everybody's got to eat. Let's be honest. To me, she's still an amateur.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on Tuesday, February 3rd.
That day.
Well, I'm old. Whatever. The day that ends in Y.
I didn't see any pizza, so it's not Friday.
Let's do some headlines. Tulsi Gabbard, I saw a lot of her on social media today. What's going on with her, Delgado?
Yeah, well, you know what? She's pissing some people off, and they're mainly called Democrats, Damon, as Tulsi Gabbard is running her own 2020 election inquiry. According to this, separate from the DOJ's, her inquiry is going to focus on Trump's claims of foreign interference in 2020 in that election. The Director of National Intelligence, DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, reportedly running her own inquiry, like I just mentioned, on the widespread election fraud that happened in Georgia. Remember, she showed up last week when the FBI raided the election headquarters down there in Georgia and walked off with 700 boxes of ballots. Gabbard's inquiry, which relies on evidence gathered last week at that FBI raid at the election facility in Fulton County, is separate, like I said, from the DOJ. The involvement of the Office of DNI is considered unusual, as the head of the agency typically focuses on military intelligence and foreign relations and has no domestic law enforcement powers. But they believe that there is foreign interference. This is why she has been brought down there. And here is Caroline Leavitt, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, cut number 11. Here she is talking about Tulsi and her involvement in that election investigation. Cut number 11, check this out.
Tulsi Gabbard has been tapped by the President of the United States to oversee the sanctity and the security of our American elections. She's working directly alongside the FBI Director, Kash Patel. This is a coordinated whole-of-government effort to ensure that our elections, again, are fair and transparent moving forward. I don't see anything wrong with the President tasking a cabinet member to pursue an issue that most people want to see solved. Maybe you don't, but I know many Americans do want to make sure our elections are protected. And that's what Tulsi Gabbard is focused on doing.
Yeah, so there you have it from the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, talking about Tulsi's involvement. Now, of course, that has rankled the feathers of the left, including, once again, one of your favorite senators here, Damon, Senator Mark Warner from Virginia. Oh. He's called on the DNI head, Tulsi Gabbard, to testify in person before the Senate Intelligence Committee. He's raising concerns about her appearance at that FBI raid on the Georgia election office. And the senator is sounding alarms, saying that she doesn't belong there. He was talking about this last week. We played a clip of him being nervous last week. Well, he's nervous again today, Damon. Here he is, cut number 10. Here's Mark Warner, again, showing a little bit of nervousness about Tulsi Gabbard, what she's involved in investigating, and what she might find. Cut number 10. Check this out.
Is she, through this, alleging that there was foreign interference in Georgia in 2020, and that's why Donald Trump lost? Could they have gotten a warrant regarding foreign interference into Georgia's election from 2020?
Well, remember, the Director of National Security has no domestic law enforcement responsibilities. The whole notion of the national security laws that were put in place after the Watergate break-in was to keep foreign and our spy agencies looking foreign, not at our country. If she alleges now, after the fact, and there's been some wacky theories on the internet of Italian spy satellites breaking into...
Oh, what? All right. Well, that was an odd cut, but he goes on to.
And the most important thing is,
I'll take 2 slices.
We actually know who did it, and they.
Yeah.
We got to tell the crack staff at editing that we may let's not lose the plot.
Yes. So basically, he's very nervous.
And the most important thing, Katie, is...
The last 30 seconds was the time I needed.
And I've waited for 60 days to tell you this. Now you listen up, Katie.
Because I'm only going to say this one time.
I'm going to say this once. The person we've been looking for is...
Before I do that, let me do the slick dance. Before I do that, and I'll let you know who it is.
Oh, God, that's like the Mitch McConnell of video clips.
So, again, he's sounding the alarm. He's
At least
nervous.
he didn't fall asleep.
He's nervous, all
At least
right.
he's like, the worst thing that happened was...
His comments are turning up the volume on the Democrats' growing fears that Trump... they believe he might be planning to meddle, Damon, in the upcoming midterm elections.
He's meddling, all right.
Yes. He's very nervous because of what they might find. So there you have that. And speaking of the midterms, I mean, we were talking about it earlier with the SAVE Act, Vin, talking about, basically Chuck Schumer, that dirtbag. Well, the SAVE Act, if you're not familiar with, let's get you caught up. SAVE Act stands for Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act. Who could be against that in Congress? Well, anybody with a D in front of their name, and probably a bunch of Republicans, too, because they're probably nervous as well. The law could make it harder for Americans, it says here, to register, even though we know that it's not. CNN's Harry Enton actually has a couple polls that he did on this, and you'd be surprised Democrats and those swarmy Republicans who don't want this to succeed would also be surprised at the support that this act would have. Here's cut number 12. Here's from Harry Enton at CNN. Poll showing the Voter ID SAVE Act and how popular it really is. Cut number 12. Damon, check this out.
Come on,
the American
Harry.
people are with Nicki Minaj, because what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
So take a look here. Favor voter ID to vote. Look, I got all this polling on the screen going back since 2018. You'll notice on all of it, it's all north of 75%, 76%, 76%, 76%, 81%, and then 83% in the last year of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj. They favor photo ID to be able to vote.
Yeah, what he's talking about is a post that Nicki Minaj put out on February 1st. She basically said this: what sensible, forward-thinking, cutting-edge leading nation is having a debate on whether or not there should be voter ID? Like, they're actually fighting not to have people present ID while voting for your leaders? Do you get it? Do you get it now? And that's been liked and retweeted probably about 500,000 times. And again, that coming from Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Here's
Queen.
Yeah.
I wish she won a Grammy Sunday night.
Here is another clip from Harry Enton, again, breaking down the different groups who support the SAVE Act and voter ID being presented when you go to vote and cast your vote in any election. Cut number 13. Check this out.
Take a look here. Favor photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj that, in fact, you should have a photo ID to be able to vote.
So something of a no.
Yeah, so there you have it.
Most people with an IQ higher than a turnip think, if I have to show my ID at CVS to buy a second bottle of Tylenol or whatever, I think I could show it to vote. Yeah. It would seem to make a lot of sense.
Yeah, the bill requires states to conduct frequent voter purges, which Democrats hate because they love dead people voting. Removing people from voter rolls based on faulty data, which, again, Democrats hate. Current law already prevents non-citizens from voting, but we know Democrats let them do that. And enforcing the SAVE Act could wrongly remove citizens, they say, from voter rolls, but they really have no evidence of that. Election workers could also face up to 5 years in prison if they help someone register without the correct documents. So there you have that. It's called security, election security, and Democrats hate it because then all of a sudden they may get exposed as maybe they shouldn't be in these offices they're currently holding.
All right, we'll do some more with Delgado here in a second, 39 past the hour. Vin, you got some news on one of our favorites, Katie Wilson. What is she doing now?
Katie Wilson, I'm trying to see where that story is. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, Damon.
Okay, well, it says here that one of your stories is the police union tells this mayor, Katie Wilson.
That's right. The police union. Sorry, I didn't recognize the reference to Katie because there are two stories that combine into one story here. And I think I picked them up because I thought this is fantastic. It's exactly what we need. We need the police and the police unions to step up and say, hey, ICE is just like us. They're police officers. We're not going to interfere. So in Los Angeles, the LAPD has refused to enforce the law that these California cronies put together, that federal agents can't wear masks. And they're like, no, we're not going to enforce that. And the one that you're talking about is about the police union in Seattle, basically saying that we're not going to stand down. We're not going to. They can pound sand on this ordinance for us to not help them, to not do anything. It's absolutely preposterous. It's ludicrous, as they basically said. So I'm happy to see in these left-leaning towns and cities that they are standing up, the police and the police unions, because they need to. If you work for the police in any department and your fellow officers, you're being told to challenge your fellow officers, not support them, not do things to keep them safe, not do things that assist them to apprehend criminals. If you're being told not to do these things, then what did you swear to do as a police officer in the first place? I mean, I swear to protect and uphold the law for people as long as the Democrats tell me it's okay to do it. I mean, is that what they wanted everybody to understand? So it's amazing this is happening in these two cities, by the way, Seattle and Los Angeles. Maybe it'll happen in Portland. Then hell is really freezing over. And this is what they should have been doing in Minnesota. The police chief there should be ashamed of himself. I mean, they're doing their job now, but they didn't do their job at all during all this craziness. That's what caused it. That's what enabled it. That's what allowed it. They couldn't control the crowds. They were trying to arrest people. So Damon, I thought this is a very, very, very good sign, and I hope it continues.
All right, very good. 41 past the hour. Just I want to put up Mike Lee here. Just recently put this out because it goes to what we were talking about. He put this out today. Earlier this afternoon. The talking filibuster is the historical norm. Cloture, which allows for a supermajority of senators to end the talking filibuster, first became available in 1917, but still wasn't used routinely. The zombie filibuster, in which senators could have the benefit of ongoing debate without actually speaking, has now become the norm. But the OG filibuster is still the talking filibuster, even though it has atrophied as senators have grown attached to and dependent upon cloture as the exclusive mechanism for advancing most legislation. It's time to bring the talking filibuster back, not from the dead, but from a prolonged slumber. And that's what we're talking about here with Thune, and he refuses to do it.
I know Trump's been asking him to. I mean, he's been asking him and asking him and asking him. So
he learned from the best.
You got to stop asking and start demanding.
All right, we'll wrap it up for Tuesday. Right after this, we'll get to everybody one more time live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night.
The great Harry Oates.
Is Harry watching?
Harry, he must be. He's texting me. He's he's corresponding with a young lady viewer about the Slick Rick in the 1999
and he's using Slick.
No.
Yes,
Harry's not one to use people, right, Big D? Harry just fell off a chair.
Oh my God! You're dropping some bombs over here, man.
The great Harry Oates. Hey, you still see that guy?
I love Harry.
Oh, what's not to love? Harry's the greatest, man. Harry's the greatest human being that ever walked the face of the earth.
Somebody else to
How you doing?
We love Harry. Come on. And exactly, Vin, you're right. That's Harry. How you doing?
How you doing?
Exactly. Harry's the best.
You know, I produce a TV show.
His last name is actually Triviani.
What are you drinking?
How you doing?
Harry's not even a big drinker. He doesn't need to.
No, Harry's. I've never seen Harry be a big drinker ever.
No. Harry nurses one drink because he don't want to spend.
Me and Harry would be the two people you want to take out if.
Oh yeah, you're another cheap date. One vodka and cranberry, and the guy is like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, so we're never going to the Sphere, basically.
I don't see you're not a big drinker either, Delgado.
Well, what would you want to see at the Sphere that you'd want to go?
I just want to go.
Well,
it's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I see myself at the Sphere.
We want to do selfies.
Yes,
that's all. We don't need to see the Eagles or whoever.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
I saw some clips from the Eagles show. The Eagles look amazing.
Yeah. Done.
Yeah, that's good.
Go.
I want to be able to stand in front.
Yeah.
He wants to see the Easter Bunny. Never mind Bad Bunny. Come on, that would be a lot of fun.
You want to see Zach Brown, Kenny Chesney, or?
Nah, I don't want to see those guys.
What?
I don't want to see that twanging. I want to see some funk, man.
You don't want to see twanging?
I don't want to see twang. No, those guys. Listen, all due respect, those guys are fantastic, and I love their music.
You don't know.
I wouldn't put it on in my car. Trust me on that.
You don't know their.
I'm listening to the funk. Exactly. I like some of you guys.
We don't want to sit down. We want to get down.
McGraw.
Remember that one,
McGraw, yeah.
Oh, skydiving.
He's great live, man. It's powerful. He's great live.
Who's the big act that's playing? Who's the big act that's playing this Sphere now? Is there any big country acts that are playing?
Yeah, I just gave you the two.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not following.
He's not listening.
What do you think I'm
He's
doing
not actually listening.
Well, I don't know what you're doing, but running the show. But I don't know who's playing. Kenny Chesney.
Good job of that.
Well, Chesney, you do a great job. Kenny Chesney, come on, he's good. He's good. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't sit.
Name three songs for $1 million right now.
I couldn't.
From Studio 6B, 13 to the hour.
That is it.
On a Tuesday night, let's get to everybody. I'll start with Slickster. Give him a little time since he's only done sports once because he was late. Slickster Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you want to shop at MyPillow. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, BD. Well, Pro Ice ad appears in San Francisco before Super Bowl. Defensive Player of the Year is what they're calling Ice. I love this. Dylan Gwen at Breitbart reporting a new ad in San Francisco praising the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, ICE, is getting plenty of attention from residents and visitors in the run-up to Super Bowl weekend. In total, 3 ads rotate on a digital billboard a few blocks from Pier 39, one of the main gathering parking spots for tourists arriving for the Super Bowl this week. Aaron, could you run cut 2, show the folks that beautiful ad that's running on the scoreboard there?
A new digital billboard at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco is evoking mixed reactions.
It made me sick to my stomach.
It's an ad that shows support for ICE.
I have a job to do, too. That's it. You know, I don't have a problem with them.
The billboard reads, Defensive Player of the Year, ICE. A group that calls itself American Sovereignty is behind the billboard. We tried to reach out to them to learn more about their motivation, but have not been able to reach anyone.
Yeah, what's their motivation? What are they thinking there?
Yeah, I love it. Defensive Player of the Year. Yep, and maybe NFL Man of the Year by the time it's all done. But I think it's great stuff, and I like to see that on there.
It's a great ad. I saw one woman go, "Well, I'm afraid for my neighbors." No, you're not, because people don't live down at the wharf. It's a freaking tourist destination, you dolt.
I mean,
so your neighbors don't live, and you know what? Chances are, this stupid lady, those people, they don't talk to their neighbors there.
Yeah, and I've never been to an NFL weekend. I know, Big D, you've gone to a Super Bowl, and it's just an absolute Mardi Gras party, right? 2 of them, and it's just one after the other. But it all is. But good, I should have a presence there, and I'm sure they'll be picking up a few people and make a few tackles there on the defense as well. And speaking of Super Bowl, we'll stay on the same subject. Roger Goodell says Bad Bunny will avoid politics during Super Bowl. This platform is used to unite people. I mean, this is the biggest sham I could ever seen.
So he basically punted on the question, is what you're saying.
No, let me tell you something. You know darn well there's going to be political statements, whether they be, subliminal or what have you. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said Grammy Award-winning rapper Bad Bunny will avoid politics during his upcoming Super Bowl halftime. Goodell referred to Bad Bunny as one of the great artists in the world, citing his speech at the Grammy Awards on Sunday night in which he criticized the Trump administration immigration enforcement tactics. He said, listen, Bad Bunny is, and I think that was demonstrated last night, one of the greatest artists in the world. That's one of the reasons we chose him. Goodell even said that Bad Bunny would use his show to unify Americans. You ready for this? We're going to get unified on Sunday. I can't wait. I won't be watching anyway. I'll be busy watching Kid Rock and Turning Point. I'll be watching at halftime. I am going right to that. I will watch the clip of this or whatever, but live and I'm in the moment, I'm definitely going to be watching what Turning Point's going to be putting out, Big D. But Goodell says he's going to unify. He's going to be a great unifier. They're going to come out with the ice out, buttons and all the other crap.
Or on the helmet or something.
All the optics and all. Yeah. That's okay. They'll be arresting people in the back that don't belong there and need to get them out of our country. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. You don't agree with me? You don't think that? What do you think's going to happen?
No, I do agree with you. I'm going to be watching Turning Point too. I love Gabby Barrett a lot. Out of those, I mean, I like all 4 of them, but I'm most interested in her.
My mantra is going to be live telecast, and then the Turning Point is going to be when I turn the channel to Turning Point's performance.
Yeah. Vin, what are you going to be watching on Sunday?
Of course he's going to be watching.
I am going to be turning to Real America's Voice, which will be airing the Turning Point halftime show, just so you know. That's on Real America's Voice. We will be airing it live as it goes. I heard Kid Rock was talking to our Eric Bowling today. I don't know if it's going to be on the show tomorrow or was on later today, but there's a lot of good stuff happening.
By the way, as much as you can love another guy, he is great.
Eric is great. He is great. I think he's just an amazing talent. And by the way, I get the real pleasure and honor of watching him do a show here, and the guy is so good. Peter Schweitzer was here yesterday. Came in, sat down, talked with Eric, about stuff. I mean, the guy's just so connected. He's so smart. He does a great job.
Fantastic.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
And he likes to bet on sports.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We got an odds maker.
He does a rip off of our odds maker. I mean, not a rip off. What am I saying? He does.
What? Don't be crazy.
Aaron says rip off.
Yeah, rip off.
He does an odds makers too. He picks the game. So I'm down with that.
Maybe we have to get him on the show for the Super Bowl, Big D. Maybe Friday night we get him on the show.
Well, I tried a couple times, but I don't think he wants to be hanging around.
Can you blame him?
No, because
that's a wrap, Big D. Back to you.
All right, Vin, anything else on your news radar?
Yeah, let's talk a little faith. Let's talk a little Bible. Let's talk a little Christianity in business. Let's talk about one of my favorite places to go when I'm on the West Coast. That's for certain, and that's In-N-Out Burger. Probably one of the most successful privately owned fast food chains, the In-N-Out Burger chain, which is run by Lindsay Schneider. It's been a faith-based chain. I mean, she's a Christian and a devout Christian, and they've been under a lot of pressure to not be as faith-based, to take biblical verses off their cups and wrappers and things like that. And she just, today announced, and she said this many times, but she came out with a pretty emphatic post today, just saying, no, we're not going to remove these things. We're going to keep Bible verses on our cups and on our wrappers. It might be a small thing, but why is this bad? Why is a Bible verse, something positive and uplifting and that might help someone's life, a bad thing to have on a freaking cup or a hamburger wrapper? I mean, honestly, to make an issue out of that. And this is what we need. We need more brands standing up for faith, for family values, for good things. We need them not to run and hide, which is what they've been doing for the last 20 years. Running and hiding. We need them to stand up and move forward. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, we saw a demonstrable change in the faith community amongst young people and older people. Many, many more people came into the community because they see this good versus evil thing that's going on in this country. And we see it with brands and products, too. They're afraid. Look at what Budweiser tried to do. Look what others tried to do. They're running away from it. Well, she makes a statement here, and you don't need to run away from it. They're probably one of the most successful fast food chains in the country. So kudos to Lindsay Snyder for sticking up and doing that. So I thought I'd point that out. We don't hear enough about those really good things we see.
All right, good stuff, Delgado. Anything left on your radar?
Yeah, one last story real quick because I'm enjoying Billie Eilish's bludgeoning over her stupid response over at the Grammys on Sunday night.
What
you
a
might
message.
remember when she said this stupidity, cut number 7. Check this out.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, guess what?
Bravo, Sabrina Carpenter.
The Tongva tribe in Southern California has responded
Get that hat.
and to her comments. They've responded to her comments, and they have actually put out their own statement. And here's Megyn Kelly reading that statement. Cut number 8. Check this out.
Her lavish mansion, located on land that belongs to the Tongva tribe, the indigenous people of the greater Los Angeles basin, they're upset about this land. It's theirs, ancestral land. They have issued the following statement. We appreciate the opportunity to provide clarity regarding the recent comments made by Billie Eilish. As the first people of the greater Los Angeles basin, we do understand that her home is situated in our ancestral land, they said, adding, she has not reached out to the tribe herself. Eilish has not contacted our tribe directly regarding her property. We do value the instance when public figures provide visibility to the true history of this country. Additionally, the tribe said they've contacted Eilish's team, quote, to express our appreciation for her comments. It is our hope that in future discussions, the tribe can be explicitly referenced to ensure the public understands that the greater LA basin remains Gabrielino Tongva territory. And so the real question here is, when is she going to return her mansion to the Tongva?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That is the question. As always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines. Thanks, everybody on the show. Vinnie Mac, thanks. Guys, thanks. Aaron Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you to Live from Studio 6B audience. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night, Wednesday. We're back, 8 p.m. right here, live from Studio 6B.
from our rotating brushes spinning at 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, soap, mildew, mold, and more. Forget harsh chemicals. With just plain water, Horsepower can clean bathroom tiles and tubs back to their original shine and luster. It's a game changer in the kitchen, where it busts through caked-on crud. Take it outside and tackle tough tasks with ease. How strong is Horsepower? We took this distressed 100-year-old antique and restored it to like new with Horsepower. Amazing! Get your Ruby Horsepower scrubber today with bonus scouring sponge for just $39.99. Save on buying batteries. It's powered with the latest rechargeable technology. But wait, you'll also get this stainless steel brush to make range hoods and gas stoves look brand new again. Yours free.